Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Behind the Grind. So, first off, before I start this video, I apologize for the lack of content in the recent weeks. I've only been posting like every other week or every other damn near 2 weeks now, and it's just the lack of content for Space Marine 2. But as we approach the rapidly coming patch 11 coming soon next Tuesday, I figured I would make a video talking about all of the modifiers that we know of leading up to the release of patch 11 that will be new in the Stratagems game mode. And yeah, I just figured we would review some of these, and without further ado, let's go ahead and look at those. But today's shout out is going to go to at Lian L Johnson -E3J, and his comment says Titus finally is a captain again after a good few centuries, in reference to the 500 worlds of Ultramar that Titus now has to conquer. And I agree, it's nice to see that Titus is finally a captain again. And if you want to be in a video through a shout out, go ahead and turn on the bell notifications down below and make sure you are the first comment on the video, and I will give you a shout out in the next video. But now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some of these new modifiers coming to Space Marine 2 in patch 11. So the modifiers have been one of those things that either a lot of players A, really like, B, a lot of players really hate, or C, don't really care necessarily. They just kind of feel whatever about it because they don't really play stratagems. And now what I will say is that personally, I do like the idea of stratagems and modifiers, but I do believe that some of the modifiers introduced in Space Marine 2 have been increasingly annoying. I mean, you got a really good few of them, like Great Responsibility. That means that nobody takes damage except for one person, and he takes all of the damage that the rest of the team would have taken. I think that's a terrible modifier, and it just makes the game extremely unfun. Also, the one that limits your visibility by having a black cloud all around you at all times. Again, that is extremely annoying. And even some that do kind of make a little bit of sense that I don't necessarily feel any sort of way towards, like the one that removes all of your equipment. I don't even hate that one. I just hate the fact that the developers did not catch it and they put it on the exfiltration, so you couldn't complete the map. But anyways, starting off with the list right here, we have Harvest of Vitae. You have no contested health, and executions restore a fixed amount of health. So that's interesting. I would like to see that. That sounds like a pretty good one. You remove contested health, you fix maybe 95% of the issues with health in Space Marine 2. So that definitely sounds like a pretty good and a very nice modifier indeed. I am excited to look at how this will work in terms of gameplay, because hey, I mean, you guys never know at the end of the day. If you completely remove contested health, like I said, you'll probably fix 95% of the issues with health in the gameplay for Space Marine 2. Next up, we have Rhythm of Carnage. Consecutive melee strikes increase in power. So again, like a more gameplay focused modifier. Doesn't sound that bad. I have nothing bad to say about that. That's a good modifier. Next up, we have Unleashed Fury. Executing an enemy boosts your damage dealt for X amount of seconds. Again, nothing negative to say about this. Again, just like Rhythm of Carnage and Harvest of Vitae, it's just like a gameplay focused modifier that doesn't really have any negative setback. It just further improves your gameplay. Next up, we have Supremacy of the Strong. Terminus level enemies are stronger. To me, that's that kind of slop difficulty. It's not doing anything except for make the Terminus level enemies stronger. So yeah, I think that's a pretty mid modifier. You're going to waste a modifier on something like that. It's not even worth it. Next up, Twice the Foe. There are twice as many Terminus level enemies. Again, kind of like the prior one, just kind of that slop difficulty. It's not really doing anything creative here. It's just making one, the Terminus enemies more annoying because you have two of them, but two, you stack this alongside Supremacy of the Strong, which you guys already know they're gonna do eventually, and now you have twice as many Terminus level enemies and they are twice as stronger. So yeah, that to me is that slop difficulty. Next up, Enduring Foes. Enemies cannot be executed. Again, this is where it kind of starts to get bad. This is going to be a really bad modifier because you're not going to be able to restore your contested health as fast as you would want to, because as you guys already know, executing enemies fully restores all contested health. So this modifier, again, is just going to be really, really bad for me personally. It's not going to do anything but make everybody else's experience worse. Fatal contamination, corruption, and intoxication immediately cause incapacitation. again, this is very slop difficulty. This is very basic at a surface level, but the consequences of something like this are catastrophic. So you are fighting a bunch of Tyranid warriors with the little barb gaunts, and you're trying to sift through their little barbed wire, and you're building up intoxication, and it's extremely annoying, and you try to get out, and as soon as you're about to get out, you are fully intoxicated now, and you just instantly go down. So once again, slop difficulty. Nothing much with that. I don't care for that modifier. It's not doing anything but make the game harder for no reason. Next up, we have Battlefield Instincts. The user interface is disabled. I can't believe, again, I'm saying this, we're wasting a modifier on something like this when you can just go into the settings and remove the HUD overall. This doesn't do anything, really. Like, what is this? This is just a setting, if anything. It's not a modifier. You know, I'm kind of sad that, and I'm going to summon Black Ops 3 Zombies here, because I think Black Ops 3 Zombies, the best thing that it did was introduce the Gobblegum system. And the Gobblegum system, as most of you probably already know, introduced a lot of modifiers that really changed the way that the map and the game is played. So you have a lot of different Gobblegums. Like, you have a Gobblegum that when shooting an enemy, all the damage is headshot damage, which, hey, I would like to see that here. That sounds pretty cool. Or you have a Gobblegum Perkaholic that gives the player all the Perka-Colas that are currently on the map. Why don't we have something like that in Space Marine 2, where you use this modifier and all of a sudden the class that you have gets every available perk? That would be absolutely insane. But you can tie that with a stratagem modifier that is very difficult. So while you yourself are very strong, the enemies that you fight, you know, are twice as strong and harder to kill. Just give us some goofy Gobblegum / modifiers like that. I don't necessarily understand why they don't take more liberty with making fun and interesting modifiers and instead resort to annoying and very hard modifiers. So yeah, I don't really care for the Battlefield Instincts modifier. Reinforced Cranium. Enemies do not take additional damage from headshots. So basically the Chaos Spawn bug all enemies. Again, this is a really bad modifier. I just brought up Head Drama, and the Head Drama Gobblegum basically says that any bullet which hits a zombie will damage its head. And then you have Space Marine 2 with Reinforced Cranium, in which enemies do not take additional damage from headshots. Once again, this is not doing anything for anybody except for making the game more annoying, so I don't like this modifier at all. Next up, we have Measured Mercy. You are granted X amount of relics at the start. Allies cannot be revived from incapacitation. So, kind of interesting. I really do like this one. So you give players the little Guardian relics so that way they can revive themselves, but they cannot be revived from incapacitation. So once you run out of those, then yeah, you're just cooked. You're going to die. So I do like that one. That one's pretty interesting. Ghost's Oath. After kneeling, the player becomes invisible. I don't even know what to say. This, like, what? Huh? What exactly would you be doing after kneeling? For how long do you become invisible? I guess it could be strategic when you want to revive your teammates, but I mean, you're still going to be a little vulnerable while you go down into the knee. But if you become invisible for like a good 10 to 15 seconds, that is definitely an interesting modifier, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Temporal Boosts. Buff pickups appear on the map. Collect a seal to gain a power-up for X amount of seconds. I do like that. I do like the fact that we are now getting pickups in patch 11. Personally, like I said, I used to be a big zombies player back in Black Ops 3, and so having pickups appear on the map is definitely going to make the gameplay more interesting. Next up, we have Butcher's Creed. Fight only with melee weapons, and Boltstorm. Fight only with ranged weapons. Slop difficulty. This is really bad for me personally. Classes like the Sniper are going to absolutely suck if you can only fight with melee weapons, because you know, what the heck else are you going to do? And then Heavy is just going to be completely useless if you can't fight with ranged weapons. So yeah, slop difficulty. It's not going to make the game fun. Just, you're better off not even using the Heavy when the Boltstorm modifier is active. Next up, we have Spoils of War. Execute enemies to acquire equipment. Good modifier, nothing bad to say there. It's interesting, I like it. Butcher's Gifts. Executions heal nearby enemies, but not you. Again, slop difficulty, but hey, if you're playing as a team and you're synchronizing all the time, then, you know, you're just going to be able to restore health. But being able to restore your health when you have a big chunk of contested health through execution is one of those things that as soon as you take that away from players, you're going to see a lot of complaints and you're going to see a lot of people struggle. So I don't really care for this modifier. I think it's going to prove to be problematic, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And then next up, we have Corrupted Relic. A random player receives the Cursed Relic. Hold the relic to avoid mission failure. I'm not sure I understand what this means. So if he dies, then it's an instant mission failure. Okay, I guess. Hallowed Relic. A random player receives a relic that empowers nearby allies. Again, kind of a waste of a modifier. Just boost everybody's attack power or whatever. You don't have to waste that on a modifier. Coordinated Elimination. Marked enemies require focused fire from multiple players. So what? It doesn't take damage unless all 3 players are shooting it. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see this one in practice. Posthumous Proliferation. Slain enemies spawn spores or chaos skulls depending on the faction. I don't know. It sounds kind of whack, honestly, to me personally. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I hate spores, and I know a lot of people hate spores, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that works in practice. It sounds kind of weird. I don't like the sound of it, but like I said, guess we'll just have to wait and see. Coordinated calls. Reinforcements are called by several enemies simultaneously. Interesting. Guess we'll have to see. You're going to have to take your plasma pistols to that one. Personal Quarry. Each player is assigned an enemy that only they can kill. This is a really bad modifier. I don't see this modifier doing any good for this game. So you boot up a game and you're the only person who can kill Terminators. And your buddy is the only person who can kill Chaos Spawn. Well, what the fuck are you supposed to do when the Chaos Spawn is focused on you and the only person who can kill them is your buddy? This is going to be a really bad modifier. I'm telling you guys right now. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below your best predictions in terms of like bad experiences that players might have in the future thanks to Personal Quarry. What do you guys think is going to be like the worst scenario? That your buddy is the only one who can damage the Biovore and you get 3 Biovores at the same time? That sounds pretty terrible. Next up is Shockwave Plating. Nearby explosions restore armor. Interesting, not that bad. And then Doomed Offensive. The lower your health, the more damage you deal, which, you know, it'll make players be a lot more aggressive once they are low on health. So overall, all of these different modifiers sound pretty interesting. Again, there's a lot of fun modifiers out there. Not to bring up Black Ops 3 again, but there's also a Gobblegum that's called Slaughter Slide, which creates 2 lethal explosions by sliding. Imagine how fun it would be if you created an explosion every time you dodged in Space Marine 2. Like I said, introduce more fun when it comes to these modifiers. A lot of these are just a lot of slop difficulty and makes the game annoying instead of fun. And at the end of the day, while a game can be hard, you got to make the game fun too as well. That's why we have difficulties like Substantial and Absolute. If you want to have fun, play Substantial. If you want to have a hard time, then go play Absolute unless you're a skilled player. And when it comes to stratagems, I feel like we have more annoying stratagems and modifiers than we do fun ones. So go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of these new stratagem modifiers coming soon to Space Marine 2 and patch 11. Other than that, that's all I got. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you are not already. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, I'd encourage you to join the channel membership for exclusive perks. Big shout out to all you guys, man. You keep the channel alive, and it really motivates me to continue working hard. I will work hard. I know I took a little bit of time because there was lack of content in Space Marine 2, but BTG is back, and we are going to be making videos a lot more consistently now. Your support and generosity is extremely appreciated. Again, thank you guys. This has been Behind the Grind, talking about the new Patch 11 Stratagem Modifiers, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!